All right, let's do this. Hi, everyone. Good evening. I hope everybody's refreshed and ready to listen to our next esteemed speaker. So now it is my pleasure to introduce our next speaker, a doctor of medicine and a PhD in psychology. She is Professor Emeritus of the College of Social Work and Community Development, University of the Philippines, where she also served as dean. An activist and academic, she has dedicated her life rather to social movements, co-founding Likhaan, a women's health NGO operating community clinics across Metro Manila and nearby provinces. Under her leadership, Likhaan has provided thousands of reproductive health services, gender-based violence support, and cervical cancer prevention. She is also a pioneer of feminist counseling in the Philippines, offering free services to women victims of violence for over 40 years. Her advocacy began during the Marcos dictatorship, where she supported survivors of illegal detention and torture. Intentionally, she has served in leadership roles for various women's rights organizations. An accomplished author and columnist, she continues to champion women's rights and social justice. Let us warmly welcome Dr. Sylvia Estrada Claudio.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, ATS, for inviting me over. I'm not happy with Justice Sereno kasi kinumusta niya yung anak ko bago kami magsimula kanina. Ayoko nang tuloy siyang kontrahin. And also, I guess those of you who might have read my article, which I had no intention to make it therefore appear na nagbabanggaan kami. You know how that works, right? It looks like a polarization, but it isn't. And Justice calls herself a conservative, but I don't think she is. I'll tell you why. I think she's a liberal, because liberalism is both a method and a content. And in terms of her insistence on rule of law, justice, the respectful exchange of ideas, and the non-suppression of belief, I think we're both progressive that way. So speaking again, before this debate begins, or it's begun in the national consciousness, salamat naman po, let me say again that I think the people here who are from Project Dalisay who have come up to me and also have been so nice, I'm so comforted that none of us intends this to be a black and white polarizing debate. Thank you. Sige. Kaya lang kukontrahin ko siya, di ba? Ganun na yon eh. I am not a Christian, so thank you, Justice, for making me look so rare. I'm so rare, oh my goodness. But let me try to convince you that CSE is not against, that it is a moral framework as well for you to choose and look at, and that it is secular in the sense that it does uphold some of the basic moral principles of major religious frameworks, and also secular ethical frameworks. So that I heard na ang ATS liberal sa ganyan. That sort of resonates with the way that ATS also tries to look at the formulation of ethics, morality, and people's consciences, right? Okay, so moving right along, let me give you a few definitions. So, what is sex? And this is the World Health Organization's definition. And I want us to begin with certain definitions. I'll explain to you why later, no? So sex refers to the biological characteristics which define humans as male or female. Set of traits not mutually exclusive because there are individuals who possess both. These are the intersex people, still a matter of debate how many of them are in the world population, but there are, of course, intersex people. But these characteristics tend to differentiate humans as males or females, and WHO admits that it goes against common understanding when it says sex. Their definition of sex does not include sexual activity. So from the WHO's definition, there are indeed only two sexes, right? Male and female. And this would be underpinning how we will look at WHO documents, whatever they happen to be, because this is their definition. No? Next, please. Next slide. Okay lang? It's not moving. I have ADHD, I'm impatient. Okay. So let me define gender for you. There are many definitions of gender. I'll give you one, and later we'll look at the UNESCO definition of gender, which I hope you'll find will be similar to mine. Okay, so gender is a social organizing force that encompasses the domains of the biological, intrapersonal, interpersonal, and social, and that determines a person's access to and control of opportunities and resources. It is a system of difference and inequality that reinforces and is reinforced by other systems such as race and class, but is nonetheless distinct from these. So when you look even at some of our laws, like the Magna Carta for women, or some international covenants and documents, or even in some laws, that talks about gender-based violence. And this is the interpretation I would, as a women's studies and gender studies scholar, this is the definition that many of us use, and I would propose to you. No? It's just mine because I took a hodgepodge from other people and slapped it together because I wanted a satisfactory one to give to my students and myself, right? So it's a system of oppression, right? And I guess we've kind of won the struggle in the sense that many recognize that there is a system of oppression based on sex and the interpretation that society gives to sex. No, so that's why we have such laws, and that's why we also celebrate the victories of women, like the first woman who entered law school, the first woman who entered medical school, because the first women who became theologians, hello, di ba? Because many of us recognize that there is some inequality based on sex and the assigned roles and interpretations of what it means to have a female body or a male body, right? So that's what is my definition. That would be a definition acceptable to many gender scholars, not all, because like any academic field, you will not hear the end of our discussions and disagreements about basic definitions. All right, next slide, please. So, but here's what I said, no? There is a biological basis, male or female, which I think we have to accept. I'm sure that evolution will someday maybe change that, but I doubt it myself. Besides, we won't be around to make policies and programs for such a society if nuclear war doesn't happen and the environment doesn't implode, right? But what we interpret female and male bodies to mean is then becomes a man or a woman. So you don't have a man dog or a woman cat. You have a female dog, a female cat, a male dog, a male cat, but the social comes in because only for human beings do we use the term man and woman. Okay, going through basic definitions. Are you okay, class? Okay, here we are, moving right along. So gender identity, again, the World Health Organization, gender identity refers to a person's internal and individual experience of gender. This is the social aspect of it, no? Which may or may not correspond to their sex at birth. So, if saka na natin debatehin ang views nyo on trans people, no? I just want to say that trans people do exist. And I would say that gender equality, among many, many, many other things, is about the equality of males and females, men and women, and the non-discrimination of persons who fall out of the usual social conventions. I don't think that's a problem, I hope, even for that former Chief Justice. I don't think she believes in discriminating against anybody based on their personal characteristics. Naniniwala naman yan sa Constitution, balita ko di ba? So this is where trans people do come in fact, di ba? Kasi, like most of the people in this room, you are male. Well, I'm not male. Some people are male. And you don't have any problems thinking yourself as a man, right? And I am a woman, I am a female, but I must admit to you, it was only quite late that I decided to be a woman. Why? Kasi nung we were growing up, boomer nga kami ni CJ at nung iba dito, lahat ng sine na may role yung babae, ang bobo talaga ng babae, ang bobo talaga ang bobo. Sinabi na nung bidang wag siyang lalabas doon, kundi tutukain siya ni Dracula. Lalabas siya doon para magkaroon lang ng plot. Diba? Like, who wants to be a woman who, if all women you see are dumb? So you see what I'm trying to get at, right? A gender identity can be important to some people. They can feel it very early. Sabi nga nung lesbiana kong kaibigan, paglabas daw niya dun sa womb ng nanay niya, alam niya siya na yung pinaka-cute na dyke sa balat ng lupa So maaga siguro ang kanyang gender, sexual orientation yata yun, no? Pero, you can, like me, think it's unimportant. In fact, for many times, I don't think, it's not pertinent, like when I'm teaching. I don't particularly think, I am a woman teaching. I just think I'm a brain explaining things, right? And I'm suppose many of you also can relate. But there are many who feel very deeply na yun ang importante. And that's normal, psychological, human variations about how we express our identity. No? We have other identity positions, Filipino, mother for some of us, etc., student, etc., etc. Okay, let's move on. Now, what is sexual orientation? So, yung GI, gender identity, pinaliwanag natin, no? Baka narinig nyo kasi yung SOGI, S-O-G-I-E. May E pa, pero hindi ko na sinama dito. Expression yon. Pero yung sexual orientation this is the American Psychological Association. It refers to an enduring pattern of emotional, romantic, and/or sexual attractions to men, women, or both. So you have the gay people, men are attracted to men. You have lesbians, who are women attracted to women. And then you have bisexuals, who are attracted to both sexes. But please note that it doesn't have to be sexual. Some people are, ang tawag nila doon, parang romantic orientation daw yung lesbian. Pero they don't really go to bed with anybody. Okay, I know some of you don't understand this, but it's fine. Some people, no. Some people are celibate and are only romantically attracted. Okay. Next. So, now let's go to sexuality. And this is important, no? Kasi, here's the WHO definition, which I fought for, advocated, nagged people in the UN about also. Me, not just me, a lot of us in the women's movement then fought for having a definition. And we thought, and this is an important one, let's read it. It's a central aspect of being human throughout life. So, do babies have sexuality? According to the definition, yes. Okay, I'll tell you what the sexuality of my babies were. They read, kasi I'm a breastfeeder eh. I don't know how many of you, I breastfeed all my boys. But pag nagbe-breastfeed na, lahat sila, they had a touch. Nagbe-breastfeed, tapos, uy, nakaka-relate yung mga nagbe-breastfeed. Gaganito ako nung panganay. Yung panganay dito, yung gitna dito, yung bunso dito. Pero kapag nagbe-breastfeed, ganyan, and very sensual. You could see you could see the body relax, you could see the baby really feeling good, right? So, babies can indeed feel intimacy. In fact, if they can't, they will not survive. Babies can feel pleasure or displeasure, and if they can't, they will not survive. They will have to cry when they're hungry. They will have to be happy when they're fed and clothed. They have to feel joy when they're burbling at you and when you're talking to them, when they recognize a face, another familiar face, and the comfort of the warmth of their mom or dad, whoever, making hele-hele to them and singing them lullabies so they can fall asleep. Okay, so it's a central aspect of being human throughout life that encompasses sex, female, male, as our definition says, gender identities, as we noticed, and roles, right? And as feminists, I hope we have contributed to the world by telling people that men can cry and cook, and women can be chief justices, right? Okay. Sexual orientation. So, whom you're attracted to romantically or not attracted to. Actually, some people don't have those attractions. No? Eroticism. Naka-FB Live naman to, di ba? Kasi may eroticism ako. I've been psychologically unfaithful with Piolo Pascual since forever. Oh my God. Okay, fine. That's my eroticism. Call me perverse. All right. Piolo, hi. Okay. Guwapo niya eh. Okay, pleasure. I also have pleasure when I see his pictures. Okay, go. Intimacy and reproduction. Okay, so all this, and as I told you, intimacy is not necessarily sexual, as I've tried to say, no? And sexuality is experienced and expressed in thoughts, okay, fantasies. Okay, poor Piolo and my fantasies about him, the poor man, all right. But I haven't raped anybody, please, okay, okay. And relationships, of course. And my relationships with my friends take on the level of the intimate. Wawa naman asawa ko, hindi ba? Sinabi ko ng psychologically unfaithful ako kay Piolo. Sasabihin ko pa sa inyong lahat, if you make me choose between my husband and my 3 best friends, please don't make me choose, please. Okay. So I have deep, emotional, intimate bonds with my friends. And we've never had an orgy in our entire 50-year relationship. Thank you very much. All right. And while sexuality can include all these dimensions, not all of them are always experienced or expressed. Okay, kayo mga single women dyan, lalo na yung kaming mga boomer, pagpunta nyo sa mga party, palagi namin tinatanong kung may boyfriend na kayo at kung kailan kayo may mga anak, di ba? Okay, that's foul. because you need not express your reproductive or sexual capacities in order for you to have a full and healthy sexuality. All right? So not all of them needs to be expressed, right? Sexuality is influenced by the interaction of biological, psychological, social, economic, political, cultural, legal, historical, religious, and spiritual factors, right? So I'll take a little time with this because this definition is important when I try to make the case for comprehensive sexuality education. All right, moving on. Next slide, please. So, what is the CSE according to UNESCO? First of all, let's talk about how we look at standards in the medical and educational system. These are not impositions. For example, UNESCO, I forgot to put it in my slides. I'm so sorry I crammed this one, these slides. Hindi ako nag-holiday kahapon, nag-cram ako ng slides. UNESCO also has guidelines for information, scientific information, teaching. It does have guidelines for science, teaching. And most schools across, UNESCO has been around for decades. And these are often found useful as standards by educational institutions across the world. In fact, when you talk about PISA and the standards that we put as to whether we're failing or doing well, these are also international standards about what a certain child at a certain age should be able to achieve in terms of mathematics, science, etc. So that's how we view guidelines. They are not, we say these things are to be implemented. These things are things that you might want to try to achieve, and these guidelines are based on the latest current scientific evidence, and we'll go to that in a little while, okay? So comprehensive sexuality education is a curriculum-based process of teaching and learning about the cognitive, emotional, physical, and social aspects of sexuality. Now you see why I wanted very clearly for us to understand that term, sexuality. It's not the teaching of sex, sexual intercourse, or even just those aspects of human relationship related to sex. Right? It's the whole aspects of our desires, our eroticism, our fantasies, our thoughts, related to pleasure, related to intimacy, related to our sense of who we are as beings. Yun yung ano eh. So that's why there is an argument for integrating it early. If you accept that sex and sexuality, our definition of sex as taking off your clothes, becoming vulnerable, stripping, and going to bed with someone, is only a very small portion of what sexuality is. Right? Okay. So, it aims to equip children and young people with knowledge, skills, attitudes, and values. So, may values din eh. Right? And we'll talk about those values later. That will empower them to realize their health, well-being, and dignity. So, and they will develop respectful social and sexual relationships. Notice nga eh, sexual is small, is a part, but social relationships are important. So let me talk about likhaan. And we have, and it's in my Rappler article, which I'll show you the link later. I have a link to Likhaan, my organization's proposal for CSE. And what would it be for grade 3 eh? Grade 3 yung gusto ng DepEd at ng mga educational experts kasi we have to be culturally sensitive. So grade 3 daw pwedeng simulan. So what is one of our recommendations for grade 3 CSE for the Philippines? Anti-bullying, respectful social relationships. Masama ang bullying, right? And what is our understanding of the most common cause of bullying? If you fall outside gender expectations, yung babakla-bakla, yung totomboy-tomboy, di ba? Yung nerd. So this is part, if you think about it, if it's teaching kids about having proper relationships, intimacies at various levels. Kasi, you know, I'm intimate with a very few number of people, but I have greater and a greater circle of close friends who I'd also be so happy and pleasurable to be with. And right now, I feel like I love all of you, but that's just me fake. Okay, right? Okay, but that's what we mean, right? So ang sinasabi natin, respectful social and sexual relationships, consider how their choices affect their own well-being and that of others. So it's really about building equitable, ethical relationships with yourself, with another, and others. Kasi tayo, mga Pinoy tayo, and this is the psikolohiyang Filipino part of my training, we are also collective in our, we're not radically individualistic, right? We are always more thinking of ourselves as community, as kapwa, as an intersubjective feeling among ourselves. Okay, so that's why that's important, no? And to understand and ensure the protection of the rights, of their rights throughout their lives. Okay, because throughout your lives, from children to up to old persons, we do have rights. And those rights can be tailored in such a way na meron na ngang children's rights, right? Many of you will recall the first great covenants of human rights, now more than 50 years old, were really not specific as to sex and age, which is fine. I mean, there should be no sex and age discrimination when it comes to rights. But rights has also evolved. So we do have the rights of children, the right to education, you know this part, okay? Okay, next. So, sabi rin nito ng UNESCO CSE, this is the document that CJ doesn't like, that has become controversial, but I just want you to know where to look. And I encourage you, as she has encouraged you, to look at the document. Right? Okay, so what does this document say? Which I will repeat is only a standard, we don't have to follow it. Okay? It has to be scientifically accurate, incremental, kasi nga, dapat you're building on competencies from younger age to older age and developmentally appropriate. So I have to make sure that you realize that that's important, curriculum-based, comprehensive, because sexuality is a central aspect of being human from start to finish. So it has to be comprehensive, right? Based on a human rights approach, based on gender equality. Remember, gender is a bad system that I don't like as a feminist. So I like that one. Okay, culturally relevant and context appropriate. That's also why I will make the argument later that some of the documents presented by the CJ are not applicable kasi they're for other parts of the world. And all CSE documents will say that this is for this part of the world. Right? Don't apply this to us. Kaya yung masturbation document is actually a document of the WHO for CSE standards in Europe. So I honestly feel that we don't have to care about that document, no? By the way, I left my cell phone, but WHO just texted on their website that while that document, thank you, pero kinikwento ko na eh. While that document does talk about masturbation at an age of 0 to 4, it is merely to give information about that, because I don't know about you, but my friends and I, who have had particularly male children, some of them, not all of them, by 4 years old, have discovered their penis and have already played with their, parang 4 years old, dapat naman napansin na nila yon, di ba? And I must say that there are some studies, and please do email me if you need me to send you the studies, that form of masturbation has nothing to do with sexuality. Sex, as in, I want to go to bed with someone and have sexual intercourse. The initial discovery of the young boy, 4 years old or up, is usually just about, masarap pala yung pakiramdam ng katawan ko. And when I touch that particular part, I do get pleasure, but it is not yet outwardly oriented. Kasi when my 6 years old told me, my 3 children on the dot asked me where babies come from when they were 6. And my own values are, I don't lie to my children. I don't obfuscate. I answer them straight. So I had this wonderful book that just explains in clear language what happens and how I got pregnant and how. So, and you know what their reaction was? The first reaction was ill. Kasi children at that age are not yet developmentally there eh. And the other thing, I have 3 kids, di pinaliwanag ko sa kanila, Mama, you and Papa had sex 3 times? Oh, di ba? It's not bad to explain as long as you also have the attitude of positivity, of just straight out information. And the way I'm talking to you now is the way we want our teachers to explain even these sexual matters, which isn't, let me emphasize again, which is only a small part of sexuality education. I will admit, mahaba pa ang tatahakin natin in a country that has not been talking about sex for decades and millennia. And we need to have better attitudes and better communications and better teacher training across a whole lot of problems for our teachers, di ba? Pero that's the way I would like teachers also to be able to approach these matters. The way where I have talked to you about masturbation, where I would tell my child, okay, you know, it's okay, no part of your body is bad, it's okay to experience any part of your body, but you know, masturbation, you do it quietly, out, because you will offend people if you do it in public. And as I said in my Rappler article, if there's time and space, I might even be able to say some people think it's not a good thing, although your mom, being the UP radical feminist that she is, does not think so, right? But I would add, as any teacher should, that we do respect the different views of people about certain things. And you know that again, all of us who are parents know that. Nanay, ba't si ganon? Ganyang edad pa lang may cellphone na at pinapayagang maghapon. Right? Well, I'm your mother. Hindi. Kasi, sa tingin ko, masama ang cellphone use, kailangan ilimit, pero, alam mo, siya yung nanay ng kaibigan mo eh. So she has the right to, you know, every parent knows how to handle these differences as any teacher should. Okay? All right. Able to develop able to develop skills needed to support healthy choices. Moving right along. Next slide, please. So here are the 8 key concepts in the UNESCO document, right? Relationships, families, friendship, love, and romantic relationship. Hindi pa to nalalagay in age-appropriate places, ha? Just what are the main, these are all the topics discussed. Families, friendship, love, and romantic relationship, tolerance, inclusion, and respect, long-term commitments, and parenting. Let's just go to families first, kasi parang the CJ thinks we should place great emphasis on families and would like to know what are the kinds of families that we might encourage. Alam niyo to sa Pilipinas, maraming pamilya na lola ang nagpalaki kasi OFW ang magkabilang, ang both parents. Maraming pamilya na tatay ay tatay na nanay pa natay. Kasi yung nanay ang nanay ang nag-OFW. Ito, long term to ha, you know the stories. I don't have to convince you that some people stay 20, 30 years raising other children and sending home their remittance to support the family. And it's the father, sana naman na comprehensive sexual education yung father para pagdating ng pera, hindi niya ginagastos sa babae at sa alak at binibigay niya sa anak niya. Kung hindi, padala niyo sa akin, i-education ko siya. Okay, so it is, again, an included, I won't lie to you part, that some children have 2 women as their parents because they're in a lesbian relationship, and one of them brought her children or child in from a previous heterosexual relationship. There is, it is also true that gay couples will adopt, and apparently they are able to adopt, right? So there are so many types of families. Again, with due respect for those who don't want to encourage homosexual families, personally, again, let me make myself clear that I have no problems with that. But what then is the call of this particular document? Respect lang, non-stigmatization. And you know, sige, punta tayo dun sa not controversial. Pwede naman tayo mag-discuss tungkol sa LGBTQ at SOGI. Imbitahin nyo na lang ako ulit, thank you. Pero yung sa bakit wala yung nanay mo? Alam mo yung away ko sa Ateneo? Pag nagpa-family day, palaging nung ibang anak, lahat ng anak ko kasi grade school, high school, Ateneo. Sana nagbago na sila, matanda na ako. My wife and I, none of us will be able to attend the family day. Ganon ang form ng Ateneo. Ang chinecheck ko sa palagi, I don't have a wife. Tapos pipirmahan ko. Kasi yung my wife, it assumes, di ba, na lalaki yung sasagot sa form. Tapos, kailangan may I and his wife. Paano yung single parent families? Paano na lang yung mga magulang na hiniwalayan ang asawa nila kasi bugbog sarado sila sa asawa nila? So how many of my patients, after the difficult separation from the abusive husband, face the difficulty of single parenthood that is also stigmatized? So that is what I mean by respect and acceptance of various family forms. If my words then is seen as coding to mean accept lesbian couples, I'll say yes to that, right? But it's not just about gender identity or sexual orientation. And I will propose to you that whether you think homosexuality is sinful, there should be no call for making children suffer for the choices of their guardians. Okay, moving right along, let's look at values, rights, and sexuality. Values and sexuality. I don't have to say more if you accept my definition of sexuality. Okay, culture, society, and sexuality. How do you make culture it's socially acceptable? How do you maintain your sexuality in ways that are acceptable to your culture? Ay, pag-usapan natin. Ako, one of them is please do not masturbate in public, young boy. It's a social thing. It's a values thing. We don't want to offend people, even if I don't find it wrong. Right? What else is the value? Do you know how many patriarchal societies, including the Philippine society, justifies rape? I will have none of it. Anong sinasabi sa akin ng mga rapists na nakakausap ko? Mostly I work with the victims. Nawalan ho ako, nagalit lang ako nawala ako sa sarili. Ano ka, gago? You're a man, you're in charge of the world, you call yourself autonomous, and then suddenly nawala ka sa sarili mo nang rape ka. That is a cultural construction. Di ba? So we talk about that. I looked at the time. I urge you to go to the document, keeping in mind the definitions I've given you. Okay, go on. Next slide. I'm taking too long. I'm going to rush now. So I'm going to do some criticisms now of the CJ, even if this was so nice to me. Okay. Yung sex education versus sexuality education versus comprehensive sexuality education, yung isa ng slide, hindi ko, CJ, could you give us the sources for those differentiations? Kasi as far as I know, the literature really only talks a lot about sex education, which is what we had before, and comprehensive sexuality education. It's not to me a technical term, but maybe yes, kasi the UNESCO does issue technical guidance to schools and educators. No? But not in the sense where it's for experts, it's used only in a small part of the world, kasi a lot of the literature is really on CSE. It's not something that's confined to WHO and WHO and UNESCO. In fact, the guidelines are endorsed by WHO, UNICEF, UNH, UN Women, UNFPA. So marami dun sa architecture ng UN have endorsed these guidelines as well. Now, the ARCH law, yes, I do stand corrected. It talks about reproductive health education. I looked up that section nga. But if you will look at that section and the other definitions like what is reproductive health, what is sexual health, that is also in the law, it actually makes space for many of the things that are in CSE, if you look at the document. So it talks about violence against women, it does talk about the complete sexual health of the body, it does talk about values formation. So I would argue that reproductive health education is not the greatest term because nag-evolve na ang science. CSE is the term that we use. Many experts in the world use. Okay, moving right along, let's go on. Some criticisms. Tuloy po tayo. Next slide. I have ADHD. Okay. So, sabi ni CH, I was listening to your Senate, this is coming from the CJ Senate intervention, many of which naman you said today also. So, ang sabi ni CJ, CSE is concerned with concepts found in women and gender studies. It's an exploration of one's own sexual identity and orientation. Agreed. It talks about different sexual relationship, and I agree with that. But women and gender studies is a far greater field than just relating to CSE. And hindi lang naman sexual orientation, gender identity, and sexual relations ang CSE, as I keep trying to point out to you today. So, making issues of gender identity and sexual orientation, the defining feature of CSE is an extreme misrepresentation. Okay, sexuality, according to the CJ also in her Senate intervention, sexuality education brings in the whole world of gender ideology. There is no single thing called gender ideology. So I think we have to be clearer about what that means, because speaking as someone who's taught about gender issues in UP for decades, there's no such thing like gender ideology. If you ask me what feminist ideology is, the earliest 1983 book that we see as our seminal text talks about 5 different schools of political philosophy of feminism. By the time I left, there's 8, 10. That's schools of feminism. And those schools look at the gender system differently. They may or may not agree with my definition, but questions like how did it come about, how are we going to solve it, what is the way that we can move forward, are men the enemy, are men not the enemy, is sex good, is sex bad. All the different feminist ideologies and political theories have very different answers with regards to the question of gender as an exploitative system, right? And some of the feminist ideologies says, stop worrying about gender, it's just part of class. Let's get rid of class distinction first and then gender will follow. May ganyan pang mga feminist theories, right? So walang isang gender ideology. And the other thing is the UNESCO guidance, where the CJ said sa kanyang intervention, safe sex is basically about consent and contraception. Next slide, please. So I looked, di ba, happy tayo ngayon, I typed in safe sex dun sa UNESCO document, and I found it in very few places. Unsafe sex was there, but this is what it says in page 25, safe sex. Young people living with either mental, physical, or emotional disabilities are sexual beings and have the same right to enjoy their sexuality within the highest attainable standard of health, including pleasurable and safe sex experiences. That was one of the places, I think the only, there's another place, yung violence and saying safe. That's the other place where safe sex was used by the UNESCO document. Okay, moving right along. That's why I'm just urging you, I really urge you to go to the UNESCO document. Okay, now, we're having Senator Risa Ontiveros and I and the CJ are having high-level discussions about the nature of this report that found CSE to be ineffective. Kaya kung gusto nyo maging class, sumama na kayo sa akin, di ba? Ka-level ko na si Risa at si CJ. Ang pretty ko na, di ba? Okay. Let me show you what I looked at. So, first of all, if the CJ says that the ones who criticized the report are from WHO, itong Institute for Research and Evaluation is based in Brigham Young University. So I have no problem with contextualizing where the research is coming from. That's a good thing. Kasi we should all know what the biases of our researchers are. Commercial para sa feminist research methods, kaming mga feminist researchers, we always say, I have a feminist position, and this is my research. Para mas malaman nyo na, di ba? Like, she's just only saying that because she's some kind of radical feminist, Dr. Claudio. O, di ba? Okay lang yan. Right? But, kasi we will stand on the fact that sometimes science does work regardless of where the researcher is coming from. And we will also stand by the fact that sometimes, if your standpoint is good as the CJ has talked about the necessity of the standpoint for Jesus of many of the people here, right, then it's fine. Okay, so I didn't want to bring this up, pero just to say that this institution is connected with the Mormon religion, okay, the one that says CSE is not effective, in the same way that the criticisms are from WHO. So let's look at the science together. Next, please. This is what the conclusion of the critics said. There was an absence of clearly articulated search strategy and specific eligibility criteria. The authors put forth criteria for the program effectiveness, but included studies that did not collect data that were needed to show program effectiveness according to their standards. And thus, several studies were determined to be ineffective by result because they weren't even looking for the criteria that was put forth by the authors of that report. The analytical framework minimized positive intervention effects and privileged negative intervention effects, and there were errors in the data extracted. 74% of the studies containing one or more discrepancies. Overall, our reanalysis reveals that the IRE review suffers from significant methodological flaws and contains many errors which compromise its conclusions about CSE. Okay, how do we resolve this? I went to the studies. I looked at the studies that they looked at. First of all, if you go to the article that is linked in the Project Dalisay website, and if you click at the links of that article, you get to know where. So, kaya nga ako hindi natulog kagabi. So my nerdy self, being such a nerd, I found the studies. And totoo yung sinasabi. A lot of the first of all, I find it difficult that you take 3 studies that compiled studies, and then you look at those studies on the basis of the compilation. Most research does independent searches and tells you how they did the searches. And then I would agree with these conclusions. So again, I will urge you, if you want to be as nerdy as me, to do your own research on the matter. Now, let's look at, next slide, sample sizes. Kasi I will still say that the majority of the data is for the effectivity of CSE. So the sample size of the study that said it's ineffective is 120 studies of school-based sex education that met their standard, including US studies and 43 non-US and 17 abstinence. Look at the data, again in the UNESCO report, of how many studies have been conducted. Ang dami, oh. So, mas marami talaga yung studies dito eh. I'll move along, and now we're rushing, I won't read to you. It's there, you can have it, but there are in terms of geographical reach, the number of studies, mas marami yung ginawa ng UNESCO to validate their CSE guidelines and its effectivity. Okay, they did a 2,000-something study and then another reassessment. Next, I also found this independent study. Go ahead. By the way, hindi peer-reviewed yata itong hindi ko gusto na study. Next, please. I found a different study, 3 decades of research naman. So they did a search through Medline, an online search of major databases for sexuality, education, and health, came out with 8,058 relevant articles, and then 218 met the specific criteria. More than 80% of those focused solely on pregnancy and disease prevention, so they were excluded, leaving only 39. And then they did expanded criteria to studies outside the US, so iba pa, no? So 80 articles were taken into the final review. Next, please, because the more important one is, look naman at the difference between what they were looking for and what the earlier study cited by the CJ was looking for. Kasi the earlier study was looking at condom use, teenage pregnancy, sexual behavior, 1 year after the program. Pero ito nga iba talaga ang criteria for success. Let's go back to our definition of sexuality. So on what basis shall we say CSE is effective or ineffective? It has to be, at least for internal, rigid consistency of scientific work, it has to be on the basis of the definitions that the WHO, UNESCO, are saying about their definition of sexuality. So we're looking at apples and oranges, I think. So the first thing I will ask you again is whether you can judge the CSE standards, those of us working for CSE, on the basis of our self-definitions of what we believe we're working for and what we're trying to achieve. Kasi mahirap yung debate na you're not taking us at our own definitions. Okay, because I'm not exactly of the belief that, I sincerely believe that that this is okay, that this is moral. Right? Next, please. So, yung consent of children. There's 3 places I find the word consent in the document of the UNESCO. It's consent with regards to harmful cultural practices like female genital mutilation. In other words, we condemn it because there is no consent. No? It's consent with regards to violence against women. In other words, you know it's violence if there is no consent. Okay, and the last is sexual consent, which if you look at the document, is guidelines for 15 to 18-year-olds. But let me expand it. I do agree that 0 to 4 dapat mag-sexuality education na tayo eh. As someone who's worked with violence against women, including incest and incest survivors, as early as that incest happens, we need to teach our kids what are good and bad touches. I need the kids to know, this is your penis, this is your vagina, who touches this, who has the right to touch this, what is a good touch here, what is a bad touch there. You're touching yourself there is a good touch. Your caregiver, your yaya, is a good touch. Diba? Unless she's doing something far more than cleaning. Right? Anybody else, aside from your caregiver or your mom, no way is that a good touch. You cannot consent to that. You need to trust your parents and tell them if somebody is doing bad touch. So 0 to 4, sexuality education, touch, know about your personal body parts, yes po ako. Okay, next please. Okay. Educating children about sexual rights. Is it acceptable for children to decide whether or whom to have sex? Remember, age appropriate to. So, yeah, 6 to 9-year-olds, the right to bodily integrity, yes. 0 to 4 nga, bodily integrity na ako eh. Age appropriate, explain to them in ways they understand. The right to choose not to marry. You know that our feminist movement just had a wonderful victory by raising the age of marriage for Muslim Mindanao. So that's important, right? The right to be free from sexual violence is a sexual right. The right to say no to sexual relations is a right. The right to be free from discrimination regardless of sex, sexual orientation, I should add there, and gender identity, I think is a right. Actually, if you look at the literature on sexual rights, it's less provocative than what I've written there. It's the right to privacy, the right to respect of opinion. Nagagalit nga ako sa literature, gusto ko mas sexual. Kasi yan ang definition ko ng sexual eh. Right? And they are important rights. Okay. So it's not about the right to consent. Kasi kung age appropriate, hindi mo talaga ituturo yung right to consent. Eh yung mga anak ko nga nung pinaliwanag ko where children come from, ang reaction, nanay, ew. You had sex with tatay 3 times? Ew. Okay, so hindi eh. If you're a teacher and you're doing it age appropriately and context and culturally appropriately, you can talk about sex in the right way. Okay, next. So, what is the Safe Schools Alliance that the CJ talked about? Let me just say, so ayun yung ayun sa taas yung web, yung URL, in case you want to check it out yourselves. And their concerns are gender ideology in the school and the use of RSE materials, the bottom one. Okay, RSE is not sex, is not CSE. Next slide, please. They're fighting against specific educational standards in England. This is the government website. Again, you can see the URL there. And in the same way that I object to talking about European standards for the Philippines, I will object to talking about RSE, which is relationships education, relationships and sex education. This is not CSE. In England, let me point out, England is important, ha? Kasi Scotland, Wales, does not apply to Scotland and Wales. Pinaglalabanan ito. Correct na naman, CJ, this is controversial. But it has nothing to do with us. And it has nothing to do with CSE. All right? Let's move along. Next, so ito, nasabi nga ni CSE ni CJ, sinusubukan ko kasi hanapin yung sources palagi. So nakita ko doon sa slide niya yung nokse.net. So nagpunta ako doon. Punta tayo sa next slide. So ang nokse.net is like the study that they're citing. It's excuse me, I don't want to be insulting, but I'm rushing for time. That study is like some random study that goes against most of the literature. And Nokse is like some random website that I went to. Right? There are many, many websites. And I just went to their definition of CSE. You can see again the URL there in case you want to check my sourcing. No? It's completely different from how I and the UN documents describe CSE. So their conclusions about the harms of CSE definitely result from something that I think is unfair. Kasi you're not taking advocates like myself or UNESCO, at I keep reminding nyo, no, hindi ako makikipagpatayan hanggang 3:00 ng umaga para dun sa UNESCO standards, no? Ang gusto ko lang sabihin, baka yung definition ng sexuality, pwede ako makipagtalo hanggang 4:00 ng umaga. Pero I showed you the definition of the UNESCO standards of CSE. That is totally way off from the definition itself of UNESCO. I put to you, you cannot criticize a document and make conclusions about what the document is advocating when you're not even telling us what is the real definition of that document of CSE. Next, please. I think tapos na ako kasi natulog na ako. Next. Okay. I'll go through it. I'll just say one thing about DepEd. At the Senate hearing, the DepEd could not confirm where these slides come from. I'll request the CJ if you can send me your documents kasi I also want to study them. Kasi ako din critical din ako eh. I would like to tweak. I would like to input. Kasi yung aming ginawa sa likhaan, syempre mas maganda according to the chair of the board of likhaan. No? I'm so biased. Pero I would like to see the difference. And yes, CJ, that wording is confusing. I hope that this is only a pilot study that they piloted, that they got feedback, and they changed it. Kaya hindi na daw nila ma-confirm eh. Maybe they're lying to you, I'll grant you that. But let's look at it. And even from my point of view of a CSE advocate, I wouldn't mind. Okay, soon na daw ako matapos. So, look, moving right along, sige. Ito yung nakuha ko sa DepEd though. And again, I will say, just a quick look, there's nothing objectionable about it sa akin na nakuha ko sa DepEd. I'm sorry, I was so sleepy, I don't have the URL. Maghanap na lang kayo, smart naman kayo eh. DepEd naman yan eh. Okay, so yan din yon. Ito yung mga perhaps problematic, sexuality and sexual behaviors. Pero pansinin nyo, talagang hiwala yung sexuality sa sexual behaviors. Hindi talaga sex ang sexuality lang. Okay? Personal safety. Next. And attitude. So DepEd is knowledge, attitudes, ano yung isa? And then, this one pa, mas lalo. I don't think anyone will find this objectionable. Okay? But if you want to get together and work with the DepEd, I'm happy. And last, hopefully last, next please. So, there is, sabi ni CJ, lahat ng klaseng gender ay pwedeng tanggapin basta self-defined. Sabi daw ng UNESCO. Page 112 of UNESCO Technical Guidelines is my definition of gender. Yay. Gender refers to the social attributes and opportunities associated with being male and female, and the relationships between women and men and girls and boys, as well as the relations between women and those between men. These attributes, opportunities, and relationships are socially constructed and are learned through a socialization process. May away lang ako kasi masyadong mabait ito eh. Pang-UN, pang-diplomatic, di sinasabi na exploitative ang gender system. Bilang feminista, sinasabi ko sa inyong lahat, exploitative po ang gender system. Okay. Want to enroll in our classes? I'll give you our, sorry competition nga pala, I'm in the wrong place. Okay. So, I would say that criticisms of the DepEd pilot standards are based on an understanding between the difference, and we did do our basic definitions of gender and gender identity. It is the gender identity that's really up for grabs now, CJ. You might find that I might have some agreements with you. But maybe we'll disagree as well, because we're only liberal in the way we conduct things, but some of our ideas are different, really. You're more conservative than me, right? But gender identity is very different from gender. And gender identity is such a small part of CSE. What we learn about trans people, how they become trans people, what are their rights, is such a small, minuscule aspect of sexuality and gender education. Okay, next please. So, as I said na before, the WHO standards that the CJ citing is about Europe. And as WHO said, we never will teach masturbation to children, even in Europe. I'll show you the tweet later if you like. But you have to be ready to discuss it. As I, as a parent, also noticed with my own children. Right? We have to be ready, no? So next. Go back, please. So there's my Rappler article where I discussed more of this stuff, more applications of why CSE might be a good thing, applications of CSE and CSE standards. Yun lang po. Maraming salamat.